Factorio Space Age Death World Marathon, the spicy side quest episode, I believe 7. We have recently secured this oil field, which is pretty exciting. We've got some other mining patches we also want to tap. There's still a couple of nests in the way. It's going to be a bit of a thing. Overall, we are on a desert start world with not a whole lot of trees, trying to get a Death World Marathon run into space. We're not going to be taking this run all the way to the end of the space age, because it's probably going to end up pretty samey as soon as we get into space. As soon as all these, like this corner, I consider a solved problem. Once we get to this kind of thing, it's not going to look all that much different to a regular, or to the other Death World Space Age run. Yeah, iron mining, which we've set up but not fully built. We've got a stone outpost because we needed the stone with a train that's full but not going anywhere because we haven't done the stations on the other side. We've got these kind of weird shaped walls, which would be a little bit of a problem, except that the main base roboport is a different network to the outpost roboport, so we don't have to worry about bots flying over these weird angles and getting caught by attacks when they're trying to go somewhere else. Yeah, this is also a separate roboport link. The main base has, yeah, we've got another power grid somewhere else, it's fine. We have enough oil now, yeah. All the labs running, we're kicking through mining productivity 2, which is not going to pay off in the time that we are going to be running this. But yeah, we don't have red chips all the way around here. We are not making red chips as fast as we would like because copper, which is, yeah, not a surprise. That's one of the other mining patches we knew was running down. That was kind of always... can we just run this guy in here? Did we need to... Oh, you've... also dropped some stuff at some point. Okay, whatever. You ran out as well. Great, cool, fantastic. And the stone that we don't have that we would like. Some of the coal is running down. The iron is also a couple of places we are missing connections. Oh well. We've got a couple of tiny little filler iron outposts which are not doing much. We still have oil in the pipe, which is fine. Yeah, these guys are pleasantly defending. Okay, yeah, I think what we need to do is, yeah, this train is taking this oil back to the base. We need to get speed modules out here so we can get, oh, here's the car, so we can get more of this oil out. But the thing we're going to do first is float over here and knock this base out, because if we are trying to mine any of this stuff, all these biters need to not be here. So we're going to give them some landmines to think about on one side and then swing around the other side and do that, and then get stuck in here, which is a little bit of a thing. We're probably fine. We're probably fine. Okay, we might actually need to change the car. You guys can run over these landmines. Sure, little car switch. Probably we're fine. Yo, these guys are still running at me. You could also run over the landmines that we left there last time. Fine. Okay, yeah, this is reasons why doing this in a car with big biters out can be a bit sketchy, because the big biters have hit points that are comparable to the hit points of the car, which means they can just stop us. And then when we are stationary, we get hit by a bunch of stuff, so I guess we're going to do this on foot instead, which is probably fine. Oh yeah, the strat we wanted to be doing here is just having a lot more landmines around, so that everyone has landmines to shoot at instead of me, which is fine. Yeah, we did that. It's okay. We don't have any repair packs and cannot make any repair packs. Okay, that went... Okay, this guy I would usually hit with the car because it's thematic, but I don't... Jeez, yeah, the prioritization of what biters will shoot at changed somewhat recently, maybe even with Space Age, and they will now, if you drive into, if they see a car and they start attacking a car, they will go after the car even if you get out. Previously they would attack you after you got out of the car and leave the car alone, but that's no longer what they do. Okay. This deletion planner should let us get rid of all of these landmines and clear this area up. We have the mining productivity research, which is fine. Let's get bot range down here as well so we can tidy all of these landmines off the iron patch that we want to be able to use. And yeah, we need to connect this guy up as well. Not really surprised about that. How we fit enough train stations in here is going to be interesting. You've got 42 bots, which is fine. The low power is just... yeah, power grid is fine. It's just a roboport complaining about not being able to draw enough charge. Okay, I think we leave all of this and figure out... oh, you guys are pooling around this side. That's not what I was expecting. That might mean that we need to blast you guys as well. That could be a little bit of a problem. Yeah, I think that's going to be a problem that I did not want to deal with just yet. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, let's take this train back to the rest of the base and presume that these guys are probably going to be fine. So I think we need to destroy those other two bases as well. Yeah, like all of this cliff looks pretty contiguous except for this gap. And then, like, if we built walls to here, that could be a good way of doing things. Except that I think we still need to destroy those bases. Okay, I'm going to get out here because the train stations we also wanted were probably in here. I don't have rubber... oh, bots have the rubber bots. Okay, that's fine. But I think we want more than one train station of each of these kinds. Do I have... I want you to be connected via long pole, or do I have these, bots do not have these, so that we can get rid of a bunch of these small poles, so that we can put train stations, another train station, say, in here? Yeah, because we've got to figure out how to get a lot of iron in here, and a lot of... yeah, whatever. You're complaining about some stuff. Why are you... did you run out of fuel? You ran out of fuel. Yeah, we also haven't given... we don't have a refueling mechanism over here yet. We just have the oil. Cool, great. We're going to worry about that later. We are going to... oh, we're doing... do we want more than... we probably... if these are 2 iron trains... west can grad... that was not the button. What even was that button? Open this location on the map? Sure. Good that we can be able to do that. We would like... actually, we want the icon on the front. We want a station that will request iron. And you will have a train limit of 1 because we're doing this weird forwards and backwards thing. So we've now got 2 train stations that are requesting iron. I think we are also going to want 2 train stations that are requesting copper. What does this here even do? I think we can get rid of it. I think also what we're just going to quickly do is spread out this copper so that we can unload it a little more cleanly. Okay, walls, I am still worried that some of those are going to end up... like, if I see pump jacks getting destroyed, then we will be sad. This one... can we just use the same layout here? Yes, it does fit, which is great. Okay, we don't want these 2 train stations. We want new train stations because they're going to get different names so that then we can... Freeism Sourfang, congratulations, you are the copper ore request station. We also want to have a train limit 1 here. Yeah, this train plan is going to be pretty bad. We are setting up a thing that is not really going to scale much past... how far are we? Are we doing 141 trains? So actually we only need to go to about here, which is super interesting. Because that means we have a bit more space to think about parking and stuff like that. Anyway, tech stuff. We've done mining productivity. That's probably not going to pay off in the... yeah, we've got... that's not mining productivity. That's a thing that vaguely looks like mining productivity. Things we want to do to get towards the rocket silo. We're going to need rocket fuel. We're going to need low density structure. Rocket silo is right here. We also need logistic spots. Here they are. We also need... blue chips, which we knew about, and also electric furnaces. And then This is actually the entire queue that we need for the rest of the run, maybe. Maybe there's some other stuff we plug in here as well. Maybe I don't really want to spend another 500 science on breaking force. The only things... I mean, throwing another 2,500 science into the quality module would slow everything down a lot. Yeah, 5,000 science, nearly 3, 4, 5, 6.5... 8,000. We're looking at about 13,000 blue science to do. And all of that is going to take... Yeah, we need to get these outposts running again. We do have... I was coming down here to be able to get some of this iron to repair both my... Oh, maybe bots have repair packs, actually. Bots quite possibly have repair packs. And I think we also just front to back all of this, because that's easier. And so if we just do... Actually, we probably don't even need... Because we got inserted capacity bonus, didn't we? We can probably get away with... Yeah, whatever. Just that as an unloading pattern. Yellow belt... Bots are going to complain about not having a bunch of this stuff, which is fine. You can actually go underground... here to here, and that can be our train station plan, the cheeky little unloading thing for which bots are not going to have a whole lot of the stuff. And we can upgrade these to stack inserters if we get around to it. Yeah, this is all on the outside, this is on the inside. We are going to front to back all of this, and then we will have... what are you guys doing? Nothing? Actually, let's make sure we go underneath the train station, so we've got a place somewhere we can... Yeah, we want to be able to refuel these trains somewhere else as well. Okay, so this is a train station for 2 belts of copper. We've got a train station here for a whole belt of stone by the looks of it. We may not end up using that. Stone icon, stone icon. This is also going to do this underground thing. And then the stone just wants to get in just like right here. Okay. Cool. Okay, so that's the stone getting in, and the other stone over here will take priority, which is important. And then bots need poles, we need underground belt, we need a variety of things like that. Why haven't the bots... Oh, because you're repairing all of the walls. Okay, that's probably still a decent thing to get these out of the queue. It's going to feel a little bit weird, but whatever. Yeah, I would like these cars repaired if we have to go and do anything like that. The train is still sitting there, not fueled, about which I kind of don't care, because we've got nowhere near enough oil collection for that to really be a problem anyway. But let's get you kind of moving as we wander down to the... Yeah, there shouldn't be any trains over here. We haven't given the stone train a schedule yet. The little iron steel outpost, which is doing everything that it can. Give me the gears. Give me... I can have... Yeah, if I had plates, I could have more inserters. Yeah, things that continue to be grim. We probably... Yeah, we do also want to get the stone in here, don't we? Oh, well, never mind. Yeah, the issue... One of the issues is the main base is so low on iron that we're not actually making the inserters we need, which is cool. And then I've got, yeah, a whole lot of steel that can go in here. We've got engines that can go into the blue science. We are still copper limited. It's probably copper. It might be petrochem, but it's probably copper. And then... Yeah, we need to do... Do we need to do more fuel... A fuel track plan? I wanted all of this stuff. I don't want to be making those belts, but thanks. In that case, I guess we just pick up a bunch of this stuff. We do also have green chips in this buffer. Oh, I wanted blue chips for the blue chips. I wanted blue chips as well, but I wanted speed mods for the oil, which is not necessarily a thing yet because we don't really... I mean, we've got to fix this copper issue first. Yeah, we're going to continue to move these guys around, I guess. Is that true? I think for the train stations, we're actually going to go and get more iron so that we can keep handcrafting these fasten sodas. Okay, this is actually the second run of stuff. We've kind of already brought some stuff in already. We've handcrafted a bunch of undergrounds. Are you coming to repair my car? That's very nice of you. I wanted you to do that previously, but you didn't. Yeah, we've got all of this steel can go in one of these boxes, which we're using to make the blue science, which we are still limited by the red chips. Not super surprising. We've got... Okay, I guess we are bringing U-gears. We needed steel for those capsules as well, and we've got, yeah, a pile of steel over here from the military science that we're not necessarily using. You get hand-fed steel as well, but we've already got a decent amount of, yeah, good things like this. What can we shuffle around to be able to carry more of this at once? All the landmines? Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not super concerned about the silo steel for when we get to that point of the run. The electric engines... maybe let's not be concerned about that. Let's make sure that we have a nice 6 stacks of electric engines, which we will not need. And then what else have we got sitting around in the car? Engines and steel and iron plate. Okay, have some of this stuff so I can get the rest of this iron plate, because we need to get the iron in here as well, he said, realizing that we might also need more mining drills. Here are some mining drills. Are there things in these... yeah, okay, walls. It's fine. Give me the landmines. Okay. So we did set up... Actually, we've got the coal belt here. Oh yeah, we should maybe make sure that bots have... Why do I have so much steel? Whatever. Maybe make sure that bots have all of these things. We're going to take this with us again when we leave. The thing we're doing with that is we want to be able to grab some of this coal. And then... I don't have these, but bots do, which is fine. And now we can also have a fuel plan for these locomotives as well, which is nice. They're just going to be coal fueled. We need to take the coal all the way down the other end as well. No big deal. I've not really left space for these to do anything other than basic in and out, which is kind of also why we've got multiple stations. So does that mean that I think what that means is... yeah, I think we grab some of this stuff back out the way. And then have an interface here. Actually, we need to go in both directions because we are connecting the stone train from the south and then also these copper trains from the north. So, this is just going to be double-sided chain signal because whatever. You are released here. Yeah, this is not a great intersection, but is going to be a good enough intersection for getting us to space in the next 2 hours. Full to empty. And so now we have automated our stone, which is great because now we can get more walls to do more of the defense. We also need to make sure that we get... Yeah, I need to reach this thing without going onto the rails to get hit by that train. It was not super well organized. We may as well just do that. Okay, and then we need to get it down the other side as well. Are these... Yeah, this is fine. We also never automated mining drills. So maybe there are some mining drills that are sitting around in here that are coming off other patches, but otherwise I think the way we're going to get mining drills is we're going to have to craft them again. So I think we just go and grab some green... Yeah. The stone is completely out. It's fine. We've got more stone. Let's make sure that this box is large enough to be able to process... And yeah, large enough to be able to provide the concrete for the silo. And then I'm trying to figure out whether or not we could have more of these. Okay, whatever. We're going to have stone at that rate. It's probably enough. Give me these back. I wanted to remember where I left my car. It is in fact down here. That should be a bunch of the stuff we need. We should have hopefully enough power poles. Oh, we don't have many. We've only got a couple of splitters. Probably not a big deal. I think we still have the train stations we want. We should have the locomotives. We're making more bots. We actually didn't need all that many bots, did we? Because we already had the bots in that we were using for the... No, we can't go that. We've got to go over here. Got to dodge the train on these tracks here. We already had the bots that we were using to do the oil station build. Yeah, me trying to keep off the train tracks and hitting everything else that's there as well, even though we can see in the minimap that that train is stationary. Don't get so close to those biters as to annoy them. Do you have... You've also got more landmines. I will not take those landmines because we're currently using those for defense in other places. Oh, well, yeah, we want to figure out... we decided copper was actually the priority, didn't we? Which is spicy because it's also the one that's kind of closer to the rest of everything else that's going on here. Can we put a Roboport in here? Give you some power poles. Yeah, I was at one point hoping that we could do this with the there is no spoon achievement, and we might not be quite that fast. Did that disconnect the other section? It did not. That's good. Okay, so now we can get some of these rocks out the way. We can figure out what a train station looks like, and we have a copy of one down here. I think we are just gonna use the same front to back basic standard pattern. It needs this much space. We can just have 2 of them for copper and 2 of them for iron, and that's what we need, which is a little bit surprising, but whatever. Yeah, bots are gonna need all of these things. I've got some belt and some undergrounds and some power poles. The splitters are gonna be a new thing. Wall we don't care about. More landmines? No. Mining drills? Yes. And then also, I've also got these other power poles, and then make sure that bots are doing everything. And then, yeah, make a mess with this mining, I guess. I think we can get away with maybe only a couple of splitters in each of these cases if we're doing one lane of one lane of mining per train station, which is you can go here again. Not great, but probably good enough for what we need to do. I don't have enough of the parts for this, do I? And also no space on my hotbar. I forgot what we were going to start that question with, but whatever. Okay, we actually might need a couple more splitters here. He said doing the... Actually, what is 27? That is 1 belt's worth of stuff, which means we don't need a splitter. We can get away with the 1 splitter by the station if we belt balance this thing, and then the 2 belts in here. are going to do what we need to. Okay, this is a stone marked station, which is not what we want, so delete both of these. A couple more train stations we want here. This is the... How many more of these do I have? Those were my last train stations. That's not what I wanted at all then. And I also don't know whether I have... I don't have enough boxes. I don't have enough power poles, probably. This is also not connected to each other or the main grid. Let's do that in a couple of places because redundancy is nice. And then, yeah, do the same thing. Oh, I left my... Leaving a car on the rail tracks is pretty wild. Yeah, these two are the train stations we want to prioritize in their existence, because these are... Congratulations, Lucas, you are the copper train station. This is going to make a bunch of biters pretty unhappy about everything. Also, we don't really have 74. That's already more than the 2 belts of copper we necessarily wanted here, but I think I'm okay with that. And so I think we do this cheeky trick where we just run one of these backwards. Maybe we run both of these backwards? No, these ones... One of them we're going to run backwards, and then we will have fewer belts that we need to manage, but we are still going to need to get power in here, which is going to turn all of this on, which is going to be wild. And then is this belt going to be full? 18 on one side, 10 more than that on the other side. Mining productivity 2, yes. So if we had these two like so, input priority from the probably busy side, this wanders through here like so. We have, if we had all the parts, which we currently do not have yet, we need boxes, we need fast inserters, we need rail, we need more power poles. Oh, because also these, yeah, these guys were not connected ever either. Okay, so we are now polluting significantly in several more places. We need to bring more mining jewels. We need... Do I have belt? I don't have belt yet. There's just a lot of stuff we need to bring over here. So let's try and do that before this position gets exploded. Copper is actually quite the priority at the moment, isn't it? The buffers have completely run down. Science has stopped. I guess we are going to do... Do we even have 1,000 military science? We don't really need the flamethrower speed, so let's just, yeah, do something that doesn't need the blue science that we don't have, which feels pretty bad. The steel we're not even fully using yet, but whatever. I was back here for green chips. It is in fact getting exploded, so that's very exciting. So we're immediately going to turn up. We're going to do a hot delivery of landmines and oh, it's not even the place I thought it was. It's over here as well. Yeah, these biters are... We're going to have to give them some problems. Where is... Oh, it's from multiple places and multiple directions. Not necessarily surprising. We knew we were going to have to blast all these dudes. I just did not think we were going to have to do it yet. We also need to replace the... Yeah, let's not drive too close. Replace this broken power pole that I remember crashing into. I don't remember destroying, so maybe Biter's got that as well. Anyway, we need all of that to be online, which is fine. We need to give this box... We bought the fast inserters, we bought the rail... Belt undergrounds. I've got some boxes. We're gonna make more boxes. I think we have to go and blast some dudes. Do we start by blasting these dudes? Do they have splitters? Yes, they just needed the belt, of which I can get them more belt by not crafting as many undergrounds. And yeah, we're gonna crash into this a couple of times. It's gonna be a little bit annoying, no big deal. We are going to go and wreck some dudes again. How big is this base? Oh, this is a large base. And it's also pretty tricky to see where any rocks are because we're doing this at night. So that's more questionable decisions from me. Sucks to be these guys, though. Is it time for a car switch? It's not even time for a car switch. Okay, that felt spicy. We kind of drove close to a lot of biters that were going to give us a bunch of problems. We are probably fine. Yeah, I think we're fine here. We can give this guy a little slowdown capsule. Sucks to be him. We're just going to tease him over here by being in a different car and then going back in with more landmines just to finish these guys off, right? Okay, so that base is fine. There is another base. I don't remember whether or not we had previously looked at this base. No, this is an expansion base. We can tell from if it was an original base, then it would be larger because the bases at this distance from spawn are larger, and it would also have why are you still existing? And then let's not undelete all those landmines so this guy can find a landmine. There we go. Yeah, so we took care of one side, but not the other. Is there anything else? Yeah, handcraft a bunch more of these guys. Big biters in the middle of our... Yeah, have one of these just to slow down, and then have a bunch of poison capsules, whatever. Kind of don't care over it already. You guys can also, you know, struggle. I wanted to make sure that we could repair both these cars, even though I don't have the repair packs. So we're going to cancel that craft, get a couple more repair packs, put the fast inserters back in the queue. We both have repair packs, so we can do that. And then, hopefully that's going to take out... Yeah, that's not really going to work, is it? The downside of this being a nice contiguous cliff is that it's also difficult for us to get around it. But, oh well... yeah. We have 300 landmines left. So I think we're going to try and do a bunch of the worm control here with capsules. Because we have more capsules than that. And, okay, maybe. We're actually going to go back and deal with these other guys, aren't we? Did we not leave... We didn't leave landmines around the other side, did we? We left landmines down here, but not over here. Yeah, losing those 75 construction robots would have been a shame. Sure, whatever. Give them a bunch of stuff. They'll probably die in the poison. Actually, this one isn't. He's wandered away from the poison. Do I even have gun turrets? Do I even have bullets? This is not the most effective way of doing this, but whatever. Okay, we've just run you over. It's fine. Yeah, all of those mining drills of which we were like, hey, how are we going to get all the mining drills? Of which I did craft a bunch more mining drills. Okay, that is fine. Get all these landmines out from the middle of this thing. Give you the mining drills, which we are... Yeah, this is... maybe the way we're going to lose all these drills again, because all of this mining is going to turn back on, and we're still not defended. This was pretty good timing, though. Catching these guys here means that we can have a couple of these guys doing this thing. Okay, that was pretty great. Now if we can deal with this base, of which we've already thrown a couple of poison capsules. Okay, getting stuck on... Losing the car there was suboptimal. We did still have fuel, so that was fine. Yeah, reasons why it's good to drive through a base first and just clear out all the biters and then going after the nests. Cool, more trees. Probably we're fine. Dodge that big rock. Hopefully that's gonna... Oh, it's not quite. I guess the space age evolution stuff. Yeah, capsule those guys. Yeah, this is an awkward base to siege. Okay, we have lost both cars. This is super unfortunate. Let's hopefully not also die here, because this would be kind of an awkward place to get back from. But also, we don't have a whole lot of landmines. Though we do have some poison capsules, which is hopefully going to deal with a bunch of those worms. It looks like it did. And then if we can get these landmines in here, then we still have a combat shotgun. We have secured the base. Congratulations, go us. What do we... Mines and wall, sure, whatever. Okay, flamethrower on the big glider. Discontinue the landmine construction. Okay, we have lost the car. I wonder if we have the parts to build the car. We had the parts to build some more locomotives, but not the car. And yeah, we end up putting ghosts in places where we lose cars, which is kind of funny, but never mind. Okay, don't delete those ones. Okay, we've got to walk back around. We've got to make sure the mining is going. Yeah, because we took this Roboport. We took this Roboport out as well, didn't we? That's why, first of all, we didn't lose all the stuff. Actually, give me some of these back, yeah. But we do now have the copper mining somewhat online. Can we have another? I do have more Roboports. And actually, this is quite the bottleneck here. If we had flamethrowers here, there's a little gap here, there's a gap here, but other than that, we might not have to deal with it. Okay. I also did want a car to be able to drive around with, but whatever. Yeah, all of these are still doing what they should. Yeah, they're filling their boxes in the way that we want them to. I wonder if now we can have this train. Yeah, we've got this train going from the copper to the copper. Empty at the one that it's currently at, and then full, but we also were not able to reach... Okay, are these signals... Did we put any other signals in here? Maybe. Is that enough? We haven't signaled this bit either, and we kinda need to, but that might be enough to be able to let these trains get to... In fact, it is not. Okay. Where can we get to? Oh, we've given this trains the signals in, but not the signals out of their station. Okay, that is a good reason for them to be complaining about stuff. I think we also want to get... Yeah, the beeping will no doubt continue. Connect this in several places, please, and then... Roboports down here and down this way, so that we can have bots pick up the landmines that we no longer need around that base in particular. There weren't many of them. Okay, we're going to take the oil train back to the station. Is that true? We've got the, I remembered we have got some of these 10 per second, 6 per second. Is 16... Yeah, 16, 13, 11, and 10 look like they're the best we have, which is unfortunate. Anyway, yeah, you wander back over here. We've just gone over 10 hours, so we are definitely not doing this within 10 hours. Have we also run out of the military science we need? Quite possibly. Okay, we have trains that are moving. Why aren't you going anywhere? Oh, because you are also trying to get to and from the same... Yeah, the oil trains are now blocked. Like this double-sided section is supposed to be, here's some nice rail spine that will let trains go past each other. In practice, it doesn't. I guess we could rail spine all the way up to the mouth of the canyon and just have this canyon be the single lane stuff. Should we not? Oh, because we didn't account for... Okay, let's put this here and here. And can we have bots do that? Um, yeah, cool. Let's have the landmines in the middle of this as well. Can we have bots do that in a way that doesn't break... Where did... Oh, did we put them in a different storage section? Okay, now if we can get rid of these ones, we can put these ones back, and hopefully... Oh yeah, you guys are just gonna run me out of... Sure, that's probably going to do what it needs to, and then we'll have to deal with those landmines later. Yeah, hopefully these ones will now let the other train turn up here, or at least let the trains get past. Yeah, okay, so we've got a train here, we've now got space that fits. We've also, yeah, we're putting copper on a train, which is fantastic. We just did need, yeah, this guy to go away as well, and no big deal. We've kind of got enough landmines on there. Sure, something like that. Then tech-wise, we have noticed that we have, yeah, run out of probably walls for the military side. So that has been dead for a while. Things that are a shame. We're going to get some copper here. Let's throw a splitter on this thing because, you know, stations like having splitters. Where is... If we got ourselves some of this wall... Oh, we've already got some of the wall. Okay. This is mostly just to give us... Like, we've invested all of this research into the stronger explosives. We may as well finish it off. We're going to have copper turning up here. We're not boxing it on this side, which is fine. But I think we can run it this way. Yeah, that is not something we're worried about. This was supposed to be easy, and it might not be, but it also might be, because we've got so little copper running through at this point that we don't need to care about this side of it. So we just run that off like so, and then eventually some of this should be other copper supplied from a train, and so if we could get the trains turning up here, which we are still going to struggle with, but here one of them comes now. We now have copper on a train which is going to unload. We have 2 trains worth of copper. We probably should have an iron buffer here, or an ore buffer, but we are, I think, not going to worry about that. I think we're all just going to try and smelt it. In fact, we are in... this is... Are all of these going the wrong way? No, okay. Give me this. We are in enough of a hurry that this is going to get something done. Does not feel like we've got a whole lot done today. Like, connected a bunch of trains, but we already mostly had all of that done. I guess we pushed like 4 sets of nests, didn't we? And then this one is still present and angry. So let's duck in here, find a landmine from the last time we were panicking about this, and pretend that we're just going to landmine defense this for a bit. It's probably fine. Yeah, then we're going to run into an iron problem later because those trains aren't actually running yet, and we also haven't done any defense on the other side. Oh well. How many landmines do we even have here? Not a whole lot. We'll just take them all later. It'll be fine. The other thing that I wanted to think about was, oh yeah, if we are... Yeah, we're starting to get the copper through. It's starting to turn into coils. It's starting to turn into red chips. Are we full on oil? Because this has a couple of consequences. One of those is we actually end up blocking these pump jacks because we've got enough oil in these tanks. So I think we want to limit this pump to only run if there's less than, say, 22,000 oil in this tank. So there'll always be a little bit of headroom here. We'll hold a lot of oil in the station tanks, and these pump jacks will always be able to run, which is nice. But then also, I think we're going to want to just expand a bunch of processing. I'm just going to smash this in and connect it up and make the other things work later. I don't even know if... Yeah, bots have all the pipes to make this work, but we don't have... yeah, we'll leave a space to drive through and hit the rubber port. That's a cool plan. Yeah, we don't have the refineries, I don't think. Because the other thing I'm thinking of is, if we've got all this copper, we actually in a weird way, don't have copper here because we've got 9 assemblers. We're going to need another, we're going to need more than one line of copper in here. But are we in a position that we can just... Actually, what's this power line? Is this power line... This is one of the 2 redundant loops, so we can get rid of this whole thing as long as we remember to put it in later. What happens if we just smash in a whole bunch of other red chips and then this happens to connect, which is nice? Can we support this if we... Okay, what if we dump the red chips on the inside of that belt? That's fine. Yeah, bots again don't have a lot of the stuff. I think I do, but we will need some more plastic, say, over here somewhere. Let's do 3 of these. These are walls, we don't care. Yeah, grab this thing, and then somehow this coal is going to wander through here like so. We've got some more gas which is going to wander through here like so. We will also need to get more green chips in here and to get more copper in here, and I dislike many things about this, but I think what we're going to do is turn this thing into a provider chest so the bots can get these parts, leave bots some things so that they can find the parts they want. Is that all? Maybe that's all, whatever. And then I wanted to be down here to figure out if we could put more coils basically over, oh, I guess more coils down here. All of those are going to be a mess, but I think what we're going to do is, yeah, spread this out a little more, have this running on the line here. Yeah, get rid of some of this green chips buffer, kind of. Actually, give me several of them, because I think we're going to want more inserters of various kinds, and the science is starting to turn on again. Yeah, but we still don't have anywhere near the red chips we need. We need to work on that. Yeah, actually, probably long-handed inserters are what we're going to need, because the thing I'm thinking about is if we have the copper running through here, we're going to need to move these green chips, but the other thing I want to do is have another debuffering of these green chips here, so that we can... Yeah, how many undergrounds do I have? Not enough undergrounds. We're going to need to work on that as well. Can we move this to the... Do we need to move this to the other side? Maybe we don't. Maybe we can just do it here, because the idea is one of these green chips lines runs into the plastic. We do need to do that slightly differently, or do we just make all of this worse? You can already tell what the answer here is going to be. Yeah, move all of this. Accidentally open the wiki thing. Put this over here. We're going to need more power. We're going to need more inserters on these chem plants for the plastic. This also is still not quite in the right place. We need to move all of these guys. That's also not going to... Oh no, that does fix the problem, because this one disappears. It's fine. Now we can bring these green chips... Yeah, pick a bot out of the air. That's super cool. Move these green chips in here like so. So we're adding green chips. We're adding plastic once all of this stuff gets connected up, which is fine. We can bring this copper through here, and then... Yeah, this is... We want to prioritize from these chests into the outputs, but then also prioritize into the new red chips. And can we, and we might be able to, run another belt through here that just adds what will be coils. So we've got this belt here. Yeah, walls being damaged, fine. We were having some kind of productivity moduling with coils, weren't we? Something like this, sure, whatever. 3 of these guys here. I have the long-handed inserters. Yeah, that was not the right thing. I have the long-handed inserters that the bots want for the red chips. We want power here, and now we're adding more coils here. Could we also just grab this, flip it around, put it this way, continue this? We do need to worry about how we get more copper in here because we don't have enough of this stuff. We're just going to have a temporary box here for all of these long-handed inserters because the bots want them. Can we do the same thing over here? Because if we can tag in some more coils, say here, the problem is we'd have to be more sophisticated here if we were trying to get a full belt of coils in, even though we've got, in theory, potentially a full belt of both coils and green chips, whereas if we just tag in another half lane of coils here in an ugly way, maybe we can even just blast more red chips in? Is that a thing that we like? Do bots have all of these parts? Are we even gonna worry about it? I think we are. The thing we do need to do is to get more copper in. In fact, I've just noticed a cute coincidence that if we add... running out of belt. If we add another belt of copper precisely here, we have a fantastic place where we can lane balance it into this other red chips extension. So all of that is gross but probably fine. We did get the speed modules we want. I think at some point we're going to want more efficiency modules. Bots are complaining about maybe not anything. I think maybe all we need to do is get the rest of this copper in and we will be happy. All of this stuff can disappear. We might be happy enough to have extended the red chips in a way that has got more of the labs going, and there's probably belt delay because we've added more stuff here as well. Oh, you also need a thing. Are you running? You are not running because you don't have coal. Why do you not have coal? I see this stuff on the belt. Oh, there are circuit conditions on those two. There are circuit conditions on these that were checking the gas state, probably. Yes. Because we wanted to make sure we got sulfur for explosives or something, whatever. At this point, we want to make sure that we get enough red chips, because we want all the red chips, and that looks like it's doing a thing. And then we wanted to get more copper here. If we were to expand the copper smelting, I think we have to go, say, here because this roboport is in the way. But mostly what I wanted to do is, yeah, figure out how all of these could not exist. We are not prioritizing this buffer again because I moved some of this around. Okay, what we can actually do is run this in here. Like so. So the things coming out of this buffer will be further away and will lane balance onto this first, except this is now always going to be a full belt. Okay, we're going to change all of this around as well. We're going to stack the input priorities on one side, but also I don't know if we have splitters. I think bots don't have splitters, bots don't have stone furnaces. I have these stone furnaces. We're just going to have another set of things floating around the place. It's going to be fine. Yeah, we still need more labs. With the amount of blue science that's coming out of this thing, first of all, we can still tell this is not happy, but also we're backing up green and red science to about halfway down the bills. We need to put more labs on this thing. That's also a thing we're going to worry about later, because what I wanted first was, yeah, a couple more splitters, a couple more long-headed inserters. I don't think I needed this many gears, but the idea of all of this was to, yeah, run half of this belt. Oh yeah, and then also I wanted more undergrounds, because I'm not sure that I have these. Connect this power, maybe it'll be useful later. Bring this copper down roughly in this direction, because this is where we had the need to put the plates in here. And so now we can have half a belt of copper turning up here, because this copper here does not look like... Okay, maybe it is, whatever. We are probably fine. We have more red circuits. We have some of the stuff turning up from the outpost. We also don't have any red circuits heading past the modules, but I'm okay with that. I want bots to have things. Maybe we will go getting a better mall. like next time. We are now going into the thinking about things we can do next time, and I think one of those things is going to be more copper, which the bots can just build. The other issue I have with the train stations, and we might just like fully rip these out and start redoing them as soon as we've got something operational, which we do. We've got a bit of plate buffering, so the bad trains aren't going to be so much of a big deal. And then also, yeah, lab extensions. Is the issue with doing the train stations like this is we're never actually grabbing more than, like, the only circumstances under which we get 2 lanes of copper from this patch is if both trains are present, which means we would need 2 trains here, 2 trains in the base extending. Did I see more white are over here getting stunlocked by landmines, which we need to take back out to the patch, but it is working. Let's get rid of some of these ones so we can move them closer to the patch. Yeah, so I think I was thinking about doing a red belt thing here anyway, because we do have more mining that we could grab, but also we might want to just reorganize a bunch of these trains so that we either have more trains here, because the issue with trying to have more trains is we have not set this up in any sensible way to have more train parking, or to, on the other end of this, have any sensible train parking around here. So that is another concern that we will not deal with now. Yeah, we still need to get the, oh wow, we really need to get the iron in here. Actually, we're just going to grab that little patch of iron just cheekily. Yeah, we really need to go and connect those other trains. That's going to happen at some point. We could probably bring in some other iron, but now we've got all these green chips running, we are probably going to discover that we, yeah, are still just lab limited. The thing we said previously that is still, oh, we're actually not that much lab limited. We've still got, we are starting to build up red chips here, which is pretty fantastic. And then we in fact do need to worry about getting attacked by the other side. So that is a super cool thing that we are dealing with. And maybe, have we got an expansion on this side, or are we just polluting a bunch of stuff? Yeah, we're just polluting a bunch of stuff, yeah. Things to deal with. I'm sure it's fine, I'm sure it's great. We are expanding.